Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. It feels like it's Thursday.
Today's Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's your girl, Miss Lee, coming to you live from the Keys to Success show. And today it is my absolute pleasure to welcome to you all Miss Eileen Parada, loan officer, real estate extraordinaire. And I am so excited to have you on the show, Eileen. You are actually one of the first people that I told about the Keys to Success. So it is such an honor to have you on the show. So excited. Would you please take a moment and introduce yourself to our viewers?
Of course, thank you so much. I am so happy to see this coming to fruition, and I'm just so excited for you. And thank you so much for having me here. Well, my name is Eileen, and I have been a loan officer since about latest 2003. I have been servicing the Latino community. And recently in the last 5 years or so, servicing the American community as well, the English speaking community. Hey, everybody's welcome, right?
Right.
But I was born and raised in El Salvador, so I came here for college and ended up loving the loan business. So
Wow.
here I am.
Wow. So you've been a loan officer since 2003. What made you, because I know you said you dropped out of college to become a loan officer. What were you going to college for initially? You came to the US from El Salvador. Tell us your story. That's very intriguing.
Okay, so I was born and raised there, and when I came here, I just I wanted to go to school for international business, and my passion was in import and export. So I've always known what I wanted to do. I've always known what makes my heart pump. So early on, I was exposed to the exporting business and the agricultural business in my country, and then that's where it all surged in. Okay, my business mindset is going to be useful in this area. And, my main focus was to bring, opportunities and productivity to my country. So, I wanted to do so much. So my focus was come to the US and get my, education, but my parents ended up moving here. My dad is an Army retiree.
Wow.
So, we have moved several different places, but most of our life I lived in El Salvador, and that's where he met my mom.
Wow.
So, after he retired in Augusta, we moved back to El Salvador, and that's when I graduated from high school. And so coming here, going there, coming and going all the time. My passion, my heart was really set in El Salvador, but life pretty much gives you surprises, and I ended up staying here. So
Wow. That's awesome.
that's what happened.
That's awesome.
Once I started my part-time job as a marketing person for a mortgage company. I quickly realized, oh, this is commission. Oh, I can set my own pay. And after my first closing, I just completely changed my life and been doing loans ever since.
Wow, that is phenomenal. So commission only in the loan business, and from that point, you were in college and you pretty much said,
The sound is off.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello? You can't hear me? Oh, let's see. Hello? I can hear you. Can everyone hear me? Allison, can you check and see if we have sound? I can hear.
No sound.
I can hear you though. Ooh. Let me check on this side. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you message her and let her know we can hear her perfectly? She can't hear us on her side. Can you hear me? I can hear you perfectly. And I just checked on there and let her know that we can hear you. So guys, as you know, sometimes with live streams, you have some technical difficulties that may come up. I hear her absolutely perfectly. And so far she was going over just her story and how she got started as a loan officer here in the Atlanta, Georgia market. So once we get our sound back. Hello, happy Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. It's Thursday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Nothing.
Coming to you live. I'm not quite sure what happened with our live stream, but we'll go ahead and bring Miss Elaine back here in a moment as soon as the sound gets clear on her end. And hopefully she'll log back in and everything will be clear on that end. Oops. That's the beauty of having the show live. Sometimes you may have technical difficulties that come up, but no big deal at all. We keep moving forward. That's below right there. We keep moving forward and the show must go on. So as you guys know, today on the show, we have Miss Eileen. She is a full-time loan officer based out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I'm just super excited to have her back with us. And I know she's tuning in again. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay. We heard you the whole time.
Oh, you could hear me?
Yep, I could hear you the whole time.
I don't know what happened, but the sound just went off.
The sound just went off. So as you were saying, you had your first commission, and then you after that you were like, I'm done. I'm all in.
Yes, yes. It was a very fast, quick, easy decision, and yeah, been
Wow,
doing it
that's
ever
amazing.
since.
So tell me a little bit about loans, because I know for me in my business, we deal with a lot of cash transactions in real estate. We deal with, everything we deal with is buying and selling with cash. I'm very unfamiliar when it comes to how loans work and the market of loans. Have you found it challenging with getting started into it, or was it off the back something that was just like, I got this?
I think that the most challenging thing is actually, just really knowing the guidelines, the procedures, the process. I mean, there's so many variables that are involved into a mortgage transaction. I mean, and there's different kinds of transactions, right? So, we have hard money loans, which is for investors. We have, we have capital funds, that basically, a whole bunch of people pull in, get some money together and go. So, I mean, and then mortgages are a complete different beast. So, and there's so many variables, like I said, that can affect the entire transaction. So, being in charge of actually making sure that, everybody, doesn't make a mistake, and you dot your T's and dot your I's and cross your T's every
Right.
single time. You also have to um, be a really good forecaster. So you need to look at a profile and be able to say, okay, this could be a possibility, or we have this percent of chance that underwriter might come back with X, Y, and Z. So we need to prepare ourselves for that.
Mhm. So,
Also preparing the loan is just, it's a lot of work, but you once you get it, it just keeps coming.
awesome. So I have a question. What exactly do you do as a loan officer? Do you do residential loans? Do you do commercial? What would someone come to you if they were interested in a loan?
Okay, so I do have a consulting firm as well, and
Okay.
I do anything that is not residential there. So basically, what I do is I just help with the whole entire process of like a hard money loan, a line of credit, a business line of credit, a real estate line of credit, a construction line of credit, all of those things. Like, let's say if a client wants to build their own home or wants to build a home to resell. All of those processes are completely different. For the mortgage in general, being mortgaged, a mortgage loan officer, we have to work under several different identities, and we're regulated very, very rigorously. So I work for a lender, and with the lender, basically, you just have a set of rules and guidelines, and you just have to follow them. Obviously, you can get a little, creative here and there, as
Right.
long safe and there's no risk for the lender. Obviously that's where my job comes into play, and because we are rigorously regulated, there's not much that I can really disclose or say or bring to light.
Mhm.
But that is my job behind the scenes, to make sure that all of those things will actually all together work for the better purpose.
Okay. So with all that, that means you do commercial and you do residential. So people can come to you for both things.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's very cool. So now being in the business since 2003, I know that means you've seen the market when it crashed and you've seen it when it's great and all of that. So what would what are some of your like some of your feedback on just the market as it's changed and what we're going through now?
Yes. Well, believe it or not, the market is, the loan business is actually thriving. The rates are low. I will honestly say that they're not the lowest that I've ever seen them.
Okay.
A lot of people say, oh, it's a record low. No, it's not. Okay. It's not the record low. But they are protecting the real estate industry. I do see a lot of changes that are being, made and implemented. Um, I do see a lot of people being, being aggressive with these contracts, and the agents that I work with, they give me a lot of feedback on marketability, closing costs. You know what is motivating a seller and a buyer.
Right.
But I have now more than ever, I have applicants with perfect scores, with great
Right.
savings. This
Right.
is definitely a really good time to, it's just, they're real. I can see that the market is being protected, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Wow, that's awesome. And we have Angie Jones out of Dallas, Texas. She asked, is it hard for self-employment people to get a house if they have good credit, but they're self-employed?
Oh, I love self-employed. Okay. So there is a way that you can actually qualify being self-employed. The only difference is that there's two ways that you can do it. You can either use 1 year income, but for that 1 year income, you would have to go Freddie Mac, and you would have to present at least a 5 year corporation for it, and you have to have your CPA certified that you have been self-employed for at least 5 years. And if that is the case, never present more than 1 year tax return. If you want to qualify that way, you can do your taxes really nice and fluffy for the last year, and then you can qualify for a 1 year average. If not, then you would have to use a 24-month average based on your last 2 year reports. So if you have a Schedule C, you have to look at your total line 30, and then roughly estimate. There's other lines that we have to use as positives and negatives. So there is a formula that we use to deduct income. To figure out your income, to calculate it. And my best advice is consult with a loan officer that is knowledgeable and helping you make sure that you're on the right track.
Okay. And so would that loan officer be you? They would contact you then to...
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Call me.
Yeah. And what would be the best way to get a hold of you if anyone had any questions with regards to how to get approved and all of that fun stuff?
Okay, so there are two different ways. You can either contact me directly through my Facebook, Instagram, or you can call me 770-881-2145. I will send you guys my contact info so you can post it. I also do workshops for Habitat for Humanity and charitable organizations, where we do credit and we do certifications. So this certificate, if you are a first-time home buyer, it gives you huge savings per month on your mortgage insurance premium and on your rate. So if you do go through the workshop with us, of course, I'll be there. We'll teach you exactly how the process works. And then you get a certification in order to qualify for a specific Fannie and Freddie program.
Awesome. And is that program something that's done in person, or is it going to be something that's going to be virtual?
We are doing a lot of Zoom workshops. So, you have to come in, you have to register, you have to go through the program, and you have to pass a test to receive your certification. But I will send you the information for that. The workshops pretty much come up maybe 2 to 3 times per month, and they're free. If you do not do the workshop this way and you prefer to do it online, it costs money. So, if you don't want to, sit through the whole program, you just want to answer questions and see if you can pass it the first time, it does cost. But other than that, you can take advantage of the free workshop and get the certification.
Wow, I love it, love it. So a question, what is some of your keys to success for being consistent in this business all these years and not, trying something different? I know a lot of people said the market changed and we had the big crash and all these other things that happened, but you stayed consistent in the market the whole time. What are some of your keys to being consistent in the market?
Well, I will say this. I ventured out a lot.
Okay.
I do a lot of things aside from just being a loan officer. So, I have different ventures and I have different projects going on at the same time. And when the market crashed, of course, I decided to focus on being a full-time mommy. And, for a minute, I was just enjoying my motherhood. But being consistent in the loan business is very difficult, is extremely difficult. It's almost like breastfeeding, really. I mean, you want to quit several times a day. I mean, every
Right.
day I want to just get done with it.
Right.
The thing that makes me successful is the fact that so many people rely on me and they come for me for ideas, creativity. Please don't ever leave this business. I need you, So there's so many people that rely on me and that come to me for help.
Right.
Makes me feel fulfilled in a way. So I do feel like I am living my purpose, even
Mm.
though my life is crazy. This business is hectic, it's high stress all the time.
Wow.
It does. I think that the it pays off with the compensation, and also with just the people in general, the people that I work with.
Wow.
There's always ugly people in the business, and anywhere you go, there's always ugly people. But my team, of course, you can't ever go wrong with having a good team.
Right.
And I some days I'm just like, you know what, I just can't. And then they'll go ahead and take the weight off of me, and I'm like, okay, take a nap,
That's
wake
awesome.
up 10 minutes.
Take a break. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it
So,
is.
so, so some of your keys then for being consistent in the market all this time is having more than one thing that you're working on, and also having a phenomenal team there to just help keep you balanced throughout that entire process of things. So it's not all like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but you're able to delegate some of those tasks effectively to other people and have other things that kind of take your mind away from the lone world.
Yes, I've been called the queen of delegating.
I love it. And being a queen of delegation is key. Would you say that that's key in business?
It is in general. Also, keeping so many projects going on at once. You
Right.
know, I think that, like, at the beginning, when I started having many projects going on, one of my biggest challenges was to actually let go
Mm.
of that and holding people accountable. So you go through a very a growth process. You go through a period. This is not for the soft-hearted and kind person. It's definitely for someone that is always going. You have to look here first, okay?
Right.
But you have to also be willing to pull the weight. So,
Right.
somebody, is not doing their part, you have to come in very quickly and salvage that. So you
Right.
have to learn how to, you have to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to show how to do, properly. And then you also need to learn how to just quickly pick up and go, if something was to go wrong.
Wow. And has that always been an effective skill of yours to be able to delegate tasks to other people and make it kind of work?
Nope. I used to stay in the office until the next morning, okay? Because
Wow.
I do everything myself and because I used to be a perfectionist. But I learned a long time ago that being a perfectionist is not going to get you anywhere. You can spend so long doing something and then you're going to hold off. I remember I painted back in, think about 2000 and between 2005 and 2007. I was painting, and I didn't want to sell any of my paintings. I just was like, no, this one's not perfect. And then I would work on a painting for 6 months, and then say, one night I would just be like, walking through the house with my glass of water, and I'm like, I could do this to it. And then I would just start all over again, and it would take another 6 months before I finished it. And so that's the problem. When you seek perfection,
Hmm.
you don't realize that there's beauty in the imperfection, and
Yeah.
it's the execution that actually makes the wheel spin. It's not, you can have an idea, you can have a very clear understanding of what you want to do, but if you don't just go out there, throw yourself, do it, it never gets done. It's a wish.
Right. Exactly. I love it. I love it. So just the matter of going through, following through, no matter what, not expecting that perfection is what the importance of just kind of getting it done.
Yes, yes. So the letting go of the perfection, just the perfectionist mind frame, and so letting go of, I had trust issues delegating. Those are the two things that actually, help me get to the next level and be able to take on more. Being also a special needs mom, a single mom, really does make my work life challenging. Especially because I'm so involved with my child's life and involved in
Right.
his progress and his care. And, that's what is work for if you can't enjoy it with your loved ones. And, so it's, it's very, very important for me to be able to learn how to trust, delegate, and hold accountability.
Wow. So on top of all of the, the business aspect of things, like you just mentioned, you're also a mom of a special needs young little guy. And you do that all on your own, of course, with the assistance of others, but by yourself. That you're a superwoman.
No, thank you. But you know what? I always, try to always remember that, like, ever since the beginning, I am only a vessel.
Yeah.
And anything that I do is definitely not because of me or my attributes or what I have acquired. Everything is really just divine intervention through me.
Yeah.
Um, just it's hard. It's hard. It's challenging. But every day I witness a miracle at home,
Right.
and every day I see something flourish in at work. So just enjoying life and being grateful. Everyone has challenges. It's just different.
So true, so true. And like you just said, enjoying life and being grateful. I mean, the importance of gratitude in everything that we go through is so important because we could all focus on those negative things or things that, but focusing on the positive things that we have to be grateful in life is really what brings life to things and just brings a different vibration to it all.
Yes, yes, you're right. The whole gratitude situation is probably like, there's two things that I like to do to keep my stress under control. It
Mhm.
used to be really out of hand. It used to be my stress level was very, very high, and it was very hard to deal with.
Mhm.
Um, but I do different things to handle the stress. And one of them is definitely gratitude. Expressing gratitude, just keeps you very grounded. And also, just being with my son, it keeps me in the present. It keeps me living my present life. And it keeps me appreciating everyday things. For example, yesterday my son asked to go to my mom's house. I mean, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge. My son is 8 years old, and he said, Nana's house. And when I asked him again, he said Nana's house again. So, to me, that right there, it just boom brings you to this present time, and it
Mhm.
helps you not focus on the anxiety of what's going to happen tomorrow. What is my list to do? What do I have to do? Every Sunday I try to prepare for the week.
Right.
Mondays are my hardest day. So every
Mhm.
Sunday I try to prepare, and I try to do a to-do list on Sunday, and then I tackle my week the best way possible. If things don't get done, they just don't get done. I learn how to let it go and just, keep up the pace.
Wow. I love that. And do you have a personal assistant that helps you get everything done? Because you said on Sunday you set a to-do list, Monday it's go. How do you create that structure around, okay, this is the list and this is what I'm going to tackle?
Yeah, well, after COVID-19, things changed a little bit. So right now, currently, I don't have an assistant, but I
Yeah.
love having an assistant, and definitely that has always been a key of my success as well. Having an assistant. But then again, you just that whole trust comes into play, because you have to trust your person to be able to do things the way you want them to, and in my field, excuse me, if my field, we can afford to make a mistake. One mistake will cost an entire transaction.
Wow.
Let me give you an example, right? If we have a $200,000 home and my client puts up $2,000 of their money for deposit, that is a $6,000 commission on both agents' side, not to count the attorneys and what the seller is gaining out of the transaction. So we could have thousands of dollars on the table. And if my assistant makes a mistake, if I make a mistake, if my processor makes a mistake, if anybody in my team makes a mistake, the client is the one that loses. So, I mean, actually, everyone is at a loss. So, it's really, really important. As easy, as simple as a phone call can jeopardize a transaction.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that alone, I mean, I've been told that the loan business in itself is that there's so many different moving parts. And of course, with any real estate transaction, there's a lot of different moving parts, but I'm sure that it's a lot that goes into it. So it's like, yeah, it has to be done that right way.
Oh, absolutely. With so many
Wow.
programs and so many I think that it just it's a very challenging a business. I train agents and I also do sales training for real estate agents, for insurance agents, for car sales
Oh,
sales.
wow.
So I do a lot of training on how to convert a lead into a prospect, how to do this, how to do that. So once you train people on how this side works, then they're able to have tools that will help them close their deal. A lot of agents don't understand the loan business and they think that's not the area of my professional life. Like I don't need to. You talk to the lender. You figure that out with the lender.
Right.
Well, what I tell agents when they tell me that is, would you go buy a car without knowing what the payment is going to be? If you have cash, that's great. But if you don't, how are you going to get into a negotiation with someone without even actually knowing what the terms and the payments and your affordability will be? So, that's one of my biggest, things that makes my team successful because we focus on the entire thing, not just the real estate transaction, but we focus on the financing. We focus on even the aftermath because our clients come to us to help them with their business needs as well. So even if they buy a house, they come back for us to get something done on their business or fix this on their business or hey, I want to grow my business. How can you see this happening? you
Wow.
know um gosh, they even come to me for tax questions. Hey, do you know what other things I can add in here to help maximize my taxes or help my refund or this or that? And we go through it, we give them an evaluation, and we tell them what we think. That's what our consulting firm does.
Wow. So the consulting firm is aside from the loan firm.
Yes, completely different, completely separate.
Oh,
So,
wow. Awesome.
so being in the business, I have helped so many people with their business throughout the years that I learned many things. And then finally in 2017, I decided to, I shouldn't be doing all this for free.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been great.
That is awesome. And so with the consulting firm, how do they, I guess the same way as far as getting in contact with you for the consulting as well?
So what we do is a lot of the consulting side always generates into how can they maximize their revenue. So
Okay.
do even startups, helping them with business credit, understanding business credit, separating personal and business is one of the biggest challenges for self-employed people.
Right.
So a lot of people that come to me even for mortgage, they will have 2 or 3 or 4 work trucks under their personal name, and they don't understand that they've had an operating business for the last 10 years. Why are they not organized?
Wow.
So yes, so that's where I come in.
Wow, that is phenomenal. So they come to you and you got your company, your consulting firm will help organize that entire structure. There's so many things that you do that I had no idea. That is absolutely phenomenal. And for people that are watching, hopefully you guys are taking this down and getting her contact information down as well. The fact that you bring the loan consult, part to it, which is complex in a whole, and it's you know a lot about that, as well as the consulting and just your business growth and development. That is powerful stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know I will be calling for sure.
Anytime.
I will be a client as well.
Anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. That's awesome. So before we sign off today, what are some of your final keys to your success in your business that you want to leave? Say a mom who's getting into business or anyone who's getting into business. What are some of the keys to your success?
Support. Surround yourself with support. If not, you will burn out. You will burn out. Um, I'm so blessed to have such a great support system. My parents are my number one support. Aside from always believing in all the crazy things that I end up doing, um, they're always there for me in any way that I possibly need. I'm like, hey dad, something broke in my house. Can you come help fix it? I'm like, hey dad, my printer, what happened? He's like, well, don't you have an IT person? And I'm like, yeah, but you're fast. So surround yourself with the support that you need. A lot of people always say, yeah, Eileen, but how did you get it done so quickly? How did you do this? Nothing happened fast. I saved up a lot of money to be able to venture out and do all of the other things that I needed to do. Having help at home with my child is one of the biggest, investments that I've ever made. It helps me every day be more successful in all the other things that I do, but it also helps me be more successful at my mom job than anything else. So you have to understand that in order to be able to do anything at all, you have to work on yourself first, get the support that you need, and then execute.
Love it.
Then execute, yes.
Awesome. Work on yourself, get the support, and execute. I love it. Well, thank you so very much for taking time out of your afternoon to discuss some of your keys to success to your business and in your life. It's been absolutely amazing. I know one of the ladies on here, I want to thank Ayana for joining. Allison, thank you so much for joining. Terry, thank you for joining. Angie, thank you for joining. Christina and Rhonda, thank you for joining. And on Instagram, we have switched over to our new Keys to Success platform here on Instagram. So thank you to the viewers who have joined us on Instagram as well. Eileen, thank you so much for sharing some of your keys to success and just giving us insight into your business as a consultant and loan officer. It is absolutely amazing stuff. And I cannot wait to reach out to you to discuss things further.
Thank you so much, Kia. I love, love, love your keys to success. This is such an amazing, powerful tool. I think that a lot of people will say, I don't have time. But you know what? This is motivational on its own. So, and you also are giving the accessibility to all of the people on your panel. So I thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. A lot of us need it. Definitely.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. It just, giving back and shining light on just different things in life is my passion. And I thank you for being a part of it and making it possible. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in again. Remember, we are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon, where we discuss the keys to success to business and in life. This is your girl, Miss Lee, coming to you live. And until next time, you guys have an absolutely amazing Tuesday afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.